sandbag bench presses. So I'm going to take my sandbag and I'm going to pick it up and put it on my lap before I sit down onto my bench. So you will need a bench. If you don't have a bench, you can use a coffee table or anything that is about knee height, right? So if I can sit down and I have my knees here at about 90 degrees, that's what I'm looking for. If you have a bench that's a little bit too high and you can't find this 90 degrees, so you're in a little bit of hip extension, you can actually take a couple of plates or boxes or something that's stable to put underneath your feet. You can take a couple of yoga blocks too, that works great. Just make sure that you're at least in this 90-degree position at your knees and you're not into super extension at your hips here when you lie back onto that bench. So first things first, take this bag. We're going to deadlift it up. Remember, if you're ever lifting something heavy, you want to peel your shoulders down and back and keep your back flat and lift with your legs. Then I'm going to walk it over here and put that on my lap and sit on the bench here. So my hips should be supported on this bench, as should my head and neck too, right? So make sure that you can keep your head and neck on the bench. So when you bring this bag with you, right, you're going to sit back. I like to take one knee up and kind of support myself. So I'm a little bit too far back on the bench, so I had to scoot forward a little bit. Then I'm going to take this bag and put it over my chest. Right, so I don't want it over my neck and my shoulders here. Obviously, that's uncomfortable. So you don't want to be there, right? So we want it over our chest, and we're going to be pressing it up and down from our chest. Remember, it is a chest press after all. So I'm going to actually take these outer handles here, and I'm going to squeeze in on that bag, right? And put a little bit of tension inward on that bag with my pecs. Then I'm going to take my glutes and fire them up, and I'm going to fire my core up. So I have my belly button pressing out a little bit and my side body abs pressing out a little. And I'm still keeping a little bit of space between my low back and the bench. So I have a neutral spine versus a hip tuck, right? So it should be really hard to tuck your hips here. If you look at my feet should be underneath my knees, right? My entire foot is on the ground. I'll see a lot of people come up into the balls of their feet here. You want to be pressing through your entire foot on this bench press. So you're using your glutes as well to provide power, and you're firing your abs, okay? So fire glutes and abs, press your entire foot into the ground, and then you're going to squeeze your elbows in, shoulders down and back. And you're going to press straight up and then come back down, okay? So notice that bag kind of droops a little bit at the top and it waits a second to offload, right? So this is a beginner version of this. This is going to be a little bit easier because half of your reps, right, you still got a little bit of weight on your chest. So if you want to make this harder, go ahead and take your neutral handles inside your bag if you have multiple handle choices. And you're actually going to put your fists underneath that bag here, right? So we're going to grip these handles, put your fists underneath the bag. You're going to squeeze your elbows in to be underneath your fists. Shoulders down and back, abs and glutes on. Press straight up from there. And then come back down. So hands should be on the sides of your body. You don't want them directly above your chest, because I'm aiming to have somewhere around a 45-degree angle out from my shoulder to my elbow. Shoulders down and back, press that bag straight up, and then back down. So notice that I'm not lifting my abs and my stomach off of the bench anymore, so I'm not going into hyperextension here. I'm always keeping this really stable spine, right? And I'm pressing through my lats as well as my pecs. So shoulders down and back, abs and glutes on. Breathe out as you come up or at the top, and then come back down with control. Breath in at the bottom, brace, and go. This is my last one here. Shoulders down and back, brace and go, and then back down to the bottom. All right, so this is the fun part here. What to do if I'm sitting underneath this bag, especially if it's a heavy bag. I don't want to try to sit up because I run the risk of hurting my back there. It's a super heavy sit up basically. So the fun part is you get to take one side of the bag, just push it off, and then you can sit up from there. So those were sandbag chest presses. If you've got more reps, go ahead and complete the reps in your program. If you're already done, move on to the next exercise in your programs.